Hi, Ed here for MMORPG. We're currently here in a cave in the middle of Cambridge, visiting Jagex to talk about the new updates coming to Runescape. So first of all, for everyone, could you fine gentlemen introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Dave, so I'm lead designer at Runescape. I've been here 13 years, as I found out today.
Wow, that's...
Today, I owe them cake, I think. That's how it works.
Cool. And I'm Kevin. I'm a lead content developer for Runescape. I've been here a pitiful 8 years.
Not quite 13 then, and we all got server time. So we're currently here to talk about Land Out of Time. It's the new RuneScape adventure and updates that are coming. I think best thing that we can do is ask, what is Land Out of Time?
Who wants to go for this one? Whew. So what better thing to bring to an MMO than dinosaurs? So we have a huge unexplored continent appearing in the northeast of our game map that is riddled with dinosaurs, stomping bound. This is a land ripped out from the past for you to explore with large chunks of content for you to play, which is you can do big game hunt to take down some dinosaurs, you can do an agility course that takes you around the entirety of the landmass, and you can do some slaying as well. We've got other things as well.
So, in terms of this update, why dinosaurs?
Dinosaurs are cool, right?
Do you need more?
Well, it's something we've not seen in MMOs. Certainly not one that I can think of before. And the dragons seem so much more archetypal. Why dinosaurs rather than dragons?
Well, so our storyline kind of explores. So dragons in our game are an experiment. By a race called the Dragonkin. They're trying to find ways that they can live on because they can't reproduce various things. So they've explored lizard-like creatures that would help them on that goal. So it just felt like a natural progression. They tried dragons, that failed. Why not dinosaurs? Our version of dinosaurs, we're trying to go somewhere different. It takes a lot of so it's not just the kind of plop-down dinosaur from what you'd expect from the real world. We're taking some insect influences. There's elements of the scarab beetle, the butterflies and things like that make them slightly subverted and interesting and new.
Yeah, subverting those kind of standard tropes is something that RuneScape tends to do quite a lot. Was that something very deliberate to go and subvert that idea with these visual concepts?
Yeah, absolutely. That was something we had quite early because a lot of MMOs are just brown and dour and a bit gritty. You know, they can have a bit of that, or they look very similar. One of the things we aim for is humour, vibrancy, bit of Britishness in there as well, British humour. But generally, it's also kind of like, you know, I use the analogy a lot, but it makes a lot of sense, which is in RuneScape, sometimes you'll be saving the dragon and killing the princess. But you take the traditional fantasy tropes and you just turn them upside down a wee bit. A twisted fairy tale kind of thing.
Yeah, I didn't quite expect someone to see a dinosaur and then shout, "Peg it."
Who was that?
That was Kyle. But yeah, I mean, like that's the sort of thing we wanted to do. We wanted to have some like fun. We wanted to have some humour with it, as well as like drama and action. We really wanted to just like play with like what we could do.
And talking about playing with those kind of ideas as well, it's not just dinosaurs that we see on the dinosaur island that we're getting. There's also some kind of unusual fauna and flora. I totally got that right first time. Totally did. So was that kind of like an idea to step away from all the sort of traditional enemies and creatures that we might see and have lots of different ideas in terms of the island, the structure of it, as well as those kind of plants?
So that's it. Like one of the things we really wanted to play with was the idea that the whole island was this dangerous threat, and just being on there like felt like you could die at any point. You know, it really was like survival of the fittest. So like even the plant life is out there trying to get you. So like at any point, like you're in danger, and like, you know, you're fighting against it at every point.
And it's a very different environment than we've seen before, because we have seen this location before in old school RuneScape. So firstly, why go back there?
That's a fair question. Yeah, I mean, one of the joys of this year is the old school kind of partner game that we have. They're going to be doing our Elf City, so we put in Elf City 6 years ago, I think it was, and they were looking to do that because, you know, they've had, similar to what we had, they had the Elf City walls in game but never got to go beyond them, so we're kind of cashing in on that promise, and it just felt like a nice switch. Let's do something borrowed, you know, something that they have done. But one of the brilliant aspects of taking something from that game is that there are certain expectations.
Yeah.
So the expectations from Old School Fossil Island is it's very kind of paleontological, it's got bones in the floor, it's a bit dusty, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And when we deliver and it is, you're getting stomped on by a T-Rex effectively, that's playing with subversion. And there's things that we've borrowed that worked, so we can also swap ideas that have worked, but also bring in some new aspects.
Did you not just find that it was time to finish building the boat?
Yeah, there is that.
Yeah, it has been 11 years, so like we did want to just get
You figured that the bill for that might have totted up a bit. Time to just get to it.
Yeah, you get a sense like the community, a buzz gathers around.
Yeah.
Like the community starts memeing certain things, and you start realizing actually there's a passion for bringing that into the game, and we're starting to see that, so we did it.
And stepping away from the island itself, this is part of a number of episodic updates that RuneScape's been getting. I believe the latest one is currently ongoing, called Desperate Measures, and it's part of a kind of move to have an episodic set of storylines. Firstly, why do that? And two, what are the challenges to bringing episodic content to the game?
I think we're so well placed to try it, to be honest. Like, episodic storytelling in games, you sometimes have to wait 4 or 5 months to the next thing if you look like Telltale and stuff like that in the past.
Yeah.
But the building blocks of the game are relatively simple, and we do update, weekly sometimes. So we're actually really well placed to do it. We've really not capitalised on it. And so we've looked at things like soap operas and wrestling, of the joy of a story progressing week on week and having your favourite characters and see them returning. And we want to really do that. Every update is just kind of clothed in what we're doing with Land Out of Time. So that might be more, we bolt onto the geography, or it might be we take the characters into a different story, or maybe we, bring a bit of it into the mainland. There's all sorts of things we can do.
We can go big with it, or we can just have like these little subtle elements and just sort of like tease the players, like, I mean, like give like little hints, and they're just like, they can speculate and make
treasure
theories
and talking about the story that's coming up as well, obviously Dinosaur Island is a huge update, but the title of the update also says something. So it's called Land Out of Time, and obviously that speaks to the fact that it's a land that's kind of plucked out from the past, and that delves into the whole concept of the needle, which, for anyone that doesn't know, is a time-altering, time-traveling story device, let's call it. However, it also has a kind of second tone to it, in that the land potentially can be out of time. Is that intended, or is that me just reading in too much?
Intended.
Intended.
Yeah, it's intended to work on a number of levels. Even the acronym has, it's loot.
Yeah.
And we wanted to bring the whole kind of reward loop of bossing into big game hunting, which is non-combat. So we just loved it so much. And I really like old films like Land That Time Forgot and things like that.
Yeah.
And it feels like it fits that canon. Obviously, Land Before Time. I still get kind of Littlefoot PTSD about the deaths in that movie. But yeah. But it seems to fit a certain canon, and I like that about it. Yeah.
And moving back to the island itself, there's obviously a lot of new content and some new ideas there that we may or may not have seen before. Things like your encounters with dinosaurs. So we've got the new hunting mechanic that's coming in, and that was really quite impressive. And so we've had a hands-on here. And where did that idea come from, to be able to hunt dinosaurs?
Yeah, so like when we started when we started designing dinosaurs, we really wanted to like look at how you'd fight them, and we came up with the idea that like maybe there are some dinosaurs that are just too big for you to realistically take down. So it's like, well, how would you take them down? It's like, we'll just build massive ballistas and then like fire them at them. So that's where it came in. So then we started designing this hunter update where you're using action and movement and stealth mechanics, and you're putting it all together, and then you get this really satisfying conclusion where you can take down this giant dinosaur, and then in turn that effectively becomes a skilling boss, and because you've done this great encounter, we can now give you a load of loot, and you get that sort of really nice dopamine hit where you get all this loot at the end.
So are a lot of these new encounters, are they built on having new tech available, or is it just new interpretations of all the tools you've already got?
Just new interpretations, yeah. So we're just playing with expectations of what we can do, and we just really want to push the boundaries of what to expect from a RuneScape update.
And can we expect more new content as well as new story ideas that are coming in with the new episodic updates as they come in?
Yes, and soon. Yeah, like obviously we have RuneFest coming in October, which is a great place to announce some of the other stuff. But maybe it'll be even before then. We're plugging into and adding to what we've done with Land Out of Time. Whether that's the story or the island, you'll just have to find out.
And there's obviously a lot of loot that players can get from the island before we kind of wrap up here. What sort of loot can players expect to be getting from this new island?
Yeah, so there's a new set of ranged armor. There's a blowpipe, which is obviously a very popular reward from old school.
Yep.
So we really wanted to like bring that in. And we've also got this giant dinosaur maul, which is like you just get bits of dinosaurs, clip it all together, and then you can just swing over.
That's what you do.
Because that's clearly the first thing you would do when you're encountered with an island full of dinosaurs.
Of course, yeah.
We all have that dinosaur transformer, right? You know.
Like,
Yeah.
fight to survive, right?
So one more question before we obviously wrap up here is there's obviously a lot of inspirations coming together for the Land Out of Time. How many Jurassic Park references have you got in this?
Probably a few.
There's a few.
There's a few,
Yeah.
so we're not going to find...
You'll find a clever girl. You'll find hold on to your butts. You know, it's all in there.
So we're not going to find dinosaurs just walking through the central city because, you know, life always finds a way.
Very good.
Yeah, thank you. Well, you know, it was a bit contrived, but I tried. Well, thank you both for your time. Obviously, we need to double check when we're getting the new update to RuneScape as well.
Land Out of Time hits on
8th of July.
Thank you very much, and thank you everyone for watching. Keep your eyes peeled on MMORPG for more RuneScape news.